Atmosphere is a great way to change the mood of your image. So you may have taken an image, but if you want it to look dark, gloomy, dusty, kind of give it a horror vibe, or even give it that kind of antique explorer vibe, using atmosphere is a great way to do that, and you'll see it done in so many Hollywood movies. Cinematographers really use atmosphere as one of the key tools in their toolbox for creating the mood of an image. So in this lesson, I'm going to show you how to do that. Let's get started. All right, let's go to File, Open, and in the Lesson 8 assets, we're going to open the Christoph JPEG. What I want to do here is I want to create a very moody scene where the light is coming in from these windows here into a much darker room, give it some atmosphere, kind of make it feel more cinematic. So to do that, the first thing I want to do is make the whole scene darker. So let's go ahead and make a copy of our layer. I'm going to do Command M for curve and just bring this curve down to make the whole scene darker. And right about there looks good. So I'm bringing down the white point and also bringing down the entire curve. So let's hit OK. Next, what I want to do is I want to make the middle of this, or the background of this, not as contrasty. So to do that, I'm going to make a copy of this layer, go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, and just blur the hell out of it. Let's do 100 pixels. And then I'm going to take the opacity on this down to about 65. And you can see it's doing what I want in that back there. So let's add a mask. And I want the mask to hide everything. So if I hold Option when I click on the mask, it does that. And then I can go on my brush tool, B, make sure I have a soft round brush selected, make sure my foreground color is white, and then just paint in this kind of fog throughout the image. Primarily in the background here. In the foreground, I want it to be a little more high contrast because atmosphere, obviously, as something gets further away, the atmosphere in the air is going to be thicker, especially in a dusty or old room. But I think that looks pretty good. All right, next, let's add another layer. What I want to do is add a gradient to the top here and just make this whole top area even a little more dark. So to do that, I'm going to hold down Option, select this kind of dark color back here as my foreground color. Oops. And then just from this top corner here, kind of make a gradient going like this. And then take the opacity down on that to about 80. All right, next thing I want to do is bring in some of the overlays. So let's do File, Place Embedded. We're going to select the first one. And let's flip horizontal. And actually, I want this one to be the foreground one. So I'm going to make this the size of my image, like so. And let's put that on screen. And then do File, Place Embedded, grab number 12 here. Let's flip that one horizontal. And let's just adjust the angle so it's the same angle as the one below it, about so. And I want this to be coming out of one of these middle windows here. So maybe this one right here. We'll just make that the start point of it. And we can put this on screen and just line up where this light is coming from to this window right there. So I think right about there looks good. And then finally, the last one is going to be number 12. And let's, oh, no, sorry, we already have number 12. Let's do File, Place Embedded, The last one's going to be 24. And this one, let's adjust that angle. Let's put it on screen so we can see the layers below it. I'm going to adjust that angle so this lines up. And then this is going to be the back window. So let's just kind of make it a bit bigger. And now I'm going to start adjusting these. So the first one is this one. I'm going to add a curve to it. So Command M. It's going to make the whole thing a little darker. About there. And then take the opacity down to about 50. And then I'm going to add a mask. And with my gradient tool, my foreground color is black. I'm just going to wipe it out down here and right up there. And that's pretty good. I may want to adjust the opacity up a little bit, but let's add these background ones first. For this one, I like where it starts up here. I would like it to get all the way to the ground. So I'm going to do Command T for transform, put my anchor point up here, which is the point that I don't want to change, and then hold down Option and drag this until it hits the ground there. Let's hit OK. And what I might want to do is put it behind this object here. So if I turn this off temporarily, I can do a quick selection, or a pen. Using my pen tool, I can make a quick selection of this. I'm just going to go right in here like this. The reason I'm using a pen tool here is because there's a lot of curves here, and this is just the easiest way to quickly get nice curves in Photoshop is just using the pen tool. And anytime you can make your atmosphere interact with the environment, it's going to make your final product look more realistic, just as a general rule. All right, I'm going to make selection. I'm going to add a 2-point feather, 2-pixel feather there, and then we're going to do Option and add the mask. So you can see there, it's added it behind there. And then with a big black brush, I'm going to also just kind of paint out the parts that it missed there, and then also paint out the bottom here so it looks like it's hitting that floor there. And then we're also going to do some painting here so it just looks like it's coming out of this window here. I'm going to switch to the gradient and just do a gradient like this, and then a gradient coming up from here. So that looks like it's coming out of that window. And now I can take the opacity down just a little bit, because these are going to stack on top of each other in terms of the light here. All right, then the last one is going to be this back window. And we're going to do a similar thing. Let's take the opacity down. And I want to get rid of these lines. So I'm going to add a mask, and with a big black brush, just kind of paint away that edge so that it looks like it's coming from the window. Now, the immediate problem you see here is because we made everything darker, these windows actually don't look like they have a lot of light coming out of them. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our original layer here, make a copy of it, and drag it all the way to the top. And then we're going to do Command M and pull down the black so that we just have these light highlights in this image. And then maybe bring up the whites to right there on the histogram. So that's what I want. So let's hit OK. And the next thing I want to do is just with a big black brush, I'm going to paint out the light that I don't want. So I don't want this. Let's make sure my brush is black. I don't want this. I don't want this. I just want these windows here. So I'm going to leave those. I kind of like this red light, and I do like the red here. Just gives the image a little more of a contrasting color. So I'm going to leave those, and I do like the light hitting the ground. So I'm going to leave that, and I'm also going to leave a few of these highlights, but I don't want the back wall being lit. So I think that's kind of what I want. And now I can put this on screen. You're going to see that makes a huge difference to really make this light look like it belongs there and is lighting that scene. So there you go. We now have pretty much all of our light in. The next thing I'm going to do is go to File, Place Embedded. Actually, we're going to use a brush for this. So let's add another layer at the top. And what I want to do is add some dust to the air here. So let's add dust and let's go to our brushes, and in the Nuclei Atmosphere brushes that are included here, if you go to File, Import, and go to the Lesson 1 assets, where are they? Lesson 1, you're going to see atmosphere brushes. So let's grab those, and then if we open these up, here they are. You're going to see advanced dust, and really we can use any of these, but I'm going to use advanced dust 5. And if I start painting with this, let's change our foreground color to white. You can see it's adding a little bit of dust to the air by just painting around. So I want to do that, but I want it a little bit smaller, and I want to do it really just where the light is. So we're going to paint a little bit. It's adding dust, right? Because a light this bright would light up the dust in the air. So that's good right there. And then we're going to take the opacity down on this. So it's really just a hint of it. So maybe around 20%. And that's pretty good. All right, the next thing I want to do is color grade this whole image. So first, let's do a gradient map. And the gradient map is going to color our shadows one color. So in this case, I want them to be kind of a bluish color. And I want the highlights to also be blue, but a little bit more of a green blue. So something like this. And let's put this on soft light. And it's a little too blue in here, so let's go into here and adjust our highlight color. Let's try it warm, see how that looks. So warm looks actually nicer, but that's probably a little too much color. So if I push this more to the left here, it's going to do less coloring of the image. Right about there looks good, and I think this blue could be a bit stronger. So let's make that more saturated. Right about there. All right, next I'm going to push it further with a bit of a curve. So in my curve, I'm going to go to red. And again, we can open our color wheel here. If you're not that familiar with color mixing, this will give you a good hint of what you want to do with your curve. So if I open my curve up, if I want this to be more cyan, well, the opposite of cyan is red. So if I go to my red and pull that down, it's going to add cyan to the scene. I don't want it to do it to the highlight, so I can push this back up like so. And then I can also do in the blue, I can raise the bottom and then push down the top, just like that. And that's going to make this a warmer color and this a cooler color. All right, then the last thing I want to do, or one of the last things I should say, is make all this a little crispier. So right now it feels all very soft. So to do that, I'm going to add a sharpness layer. And to do that, I'm going to add a layer at the very top. Let's move our color palette here. And I'm going to do Shift, Option, Command E, and that's going to paste everything into my top layer there. And we're going to call this Sharp Layer. We're going to go to Filter, Other, High Pass, and let's do 2.5 pixels, hit OK. And then we're going to put this on Linear Light. And if I turn this on and off, you can see that that's sharpening up the whole image. If we want to do it even stronger, we can make a copy of this layer. So I think that's probably a little too strong. So let's put that layer on 50%. And there you can see this image. Now I love this hint of red here, and I kind of want a little more red here. So what I could do here is just add a small gradient. I'm going to go on a radial gradient instead of linear and make my foreground color here kind of a warm reddish color, and then just make a little ball like that. And I put this on screen and then move that over here and then transform it so that it kind of acts as a bright light being generated right there. And just that little kick kind of gives the whole image a little more color. And there you can see the before and the after.